Today we're going to be talking about the Blue Snowball Microphone, which I still have wrapped up because we're going to unwrap it right now. But before we go do that, I want to have a brief note about voiceover because it relates. I have a friend who is an actor, a really great actor, and he wants to get into voiceover, and he was asking me, knowing that I'm a production person, what microphone to pick. And I said, well, I'm not really familiar with voiceover. I know a lot of aspects, but I'm not really sure. But maybe try Blue Snowball Microphone, and I find the sound is very nice, and that might be helpful to you. He went, okay, because he was getting overwhelmed by the technology of it all. He's a little bit older, and I think that computers and everything sometimes are challenging for people who didn't grow up with them. So it's funny though, because I got on some chat room about voiceover that night, which was totally random, and some expert, which I feel has a lot of experience and knowledge, said, I guess you could use a blue microphone, but that would be a bad idea. So I went back to my friend the next day and said, don't listen to my advice for that. But I want to talk about this blue microphone because it is really great. And let's unwrap it now because that's the first thing that's great about it. So I bought this when I was making my directing course in Los Angeles and then traveling a ton. And I had heard great things about this mic, but I didn't, and other mics, but I didn't want a huge setup. And I couldn't take a huge setup. I had a suitcase, and that's all the space I had. So let me show you my setup here. I just take it out of the bag, and I take this, and I still carry it in this box. I'm sure some audio person is going to be like, why is she carrying it in a box like this? It should be better protected. Yeah, I guess so. But it works for me. And now it's in its own little special compartment in my office, and then I don't have to worry about, although I can take it on the road and I pack it nicely, but I like having the box. So really it is basically this stand, okay, and it screws into here. Okay, and that, am I going to do it now? Well, maybe while I'm talking. And that was the first thing that appeals, because sometimes I find that setting up audio equipment takes a really long time, and sometimes I find I won't shoot things, or if I need to shoot on the fly, I'll miss something if it's a really long setup. So this is pretty much set up now, boom. And then this is just the cord. Remember those old telephone cords? That's this end, and then it goes into with a USB. You see that? Okay. So easy peasy to get some audio, some really good audio. It also has different controls, so you can change it. I forget what the meaning is of 1, 2, and 3, but essentially you can get it so that it's focused, or if it's omnidirectional, and you can look up omnidirectional. Or maybe I'll put a link to the meaning of that. It could be a directional, omnidirectional mic. I forget what 3 means, but I never use it. I always set it to 1 because basically I'm talking into the mic, usually, and that's how I'm using it. So I'll keep holding it actually so that you know what I'm talking about. So really easy to use, affordable, and I have found that it works really well when I'm doing things like making videos on the computer so that I can post them to YouTube. I do a lot of videos that are software oriented, and sometimes, always I'm speaking and I'm showing things and explaining things, and this has been very nice to listen to and a very easy setup when I'm just like, oh, I should show people that, so I end up using this mic. What it isn't great for is being mobile because it is fairly heavy, and I'm sure that someone rigged a setup for this for their cell phone, but I personally wouldn't want to use it. Also, you can rig a setup, which I do not have right now, where you have it on this arm that allows the vibrations of the room and the person and movement not to be affected by the mic. I didn't get that fancy with it, but I'm also not doing voiceover. I'm just making videos, and I want it to be high quality, but it doesn't have to be a professional studio quality because it's more about the information and not the equipment and precise production quality movie theater quality. So I just wanted to get into that and say I love this mic. It's fantastic. I've had it for a year now, and it's sturdy, and it's really been a wonderful thing to use. And I've also seen it, I haven't used it for podcasts, but I have definitely seen this mic listed as a good podcast mic. You might want to get a windscreen for it, and that will prevent any popping of your words. And sounds like S's might be clear with a windscreen, but I don't do that because I'm fairly mobile, and I honestly would prefer to get my videos made than to be so focused on the equipment that by the time I'm ready to make the video and everything's like, oh, I have to set that up, and I do set it up, I'm like, I'll do it another time, and I don't do it. And I know that's my tendency, so I'd rather just have a fast setup and go. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.